Congressman Tom Tancredo, he's running for president, but he didn't show up for that debate last night. All right, I don't know where to start this, whether that thing that we just showed, which I thought you'd get a kick out of, or I guess I'll ask you, why didn't you go? Why didn't you show up for this thing?
Actually, I had more important things to do. I had my grandkids over last night, and I had to fix the train set.
But, oh, shut up. You're running for president. Now you're making fun of me on national television. You're running for president.
Hey, you do the same thing. You do the same thing to me, buddy.
Now you're being funny. They gave you an opportunity to go. Why didn't you go? I mean, what is your pitch on this?
Here's the thing. In all seriousness.
Go ahead.
We should not be doing anything that encourages the bilingualization of this country and the balkanization of the country based on language. This is the issue. Of course, I've tried, I don't know how many times to talk about this with you and with others, and I thought somewhat successfully even with my opponents. It does seem to me that they lost a little bit of their vigor in terms of discussing this issue when they got there last night.
I'm going to give you a chance to talk about that. I swear, you know I always do. But I guess what I want to know is what's wrong with somebody broadcasting in Spanish in the United States?
Because this is the United States of America. We speak English, and if you're going to vote in this election, you're supposed to be, first of all, if you're here as an immigrant and becoming a citizen and have become a citizen, you're supposed to, by law, understand English. That's part of becoming a citizen. That's actually part of the law.
What does that have to do with
So who are you talking
broadcasting?
to?
So who are you talking to? Broadcasting, though? These guys have a TV station.
Who are they talking to?
Well,
who are they talking to?
Well, if you thought somebody could bring you votes, and they were talking to you in Swahili, wouldn't you go talk to them?
No. The whole issue is whether or not we're going to actually do what we should do in this country, and that is encourage the English language or encourage the separatism that you and others seem to push. You must like this idea.
I'm not pushing that. Why are you putting words in my mouth? Here's the issue with this. What I'm telling you is this thing lasts usually one generation. That's how many people are going to watch Univision, and then they're going to speak English just like me and you, and they'll forget about their mother tongue.
They're not. They're not, because we're not encouraging it. Because there's Univision. Because there's everything that you can think of that encourages people to stay separate in a separate language. I know that that has been the tradition of the United States. They came, the first generation spoke, but you know, even my grandparents would not allow my parents to speak Italian, would not. Now, I'm not going to tell you that was a great idea, maybe, because I wish I could speak two languages, but the whole idea is they didn't want to be anything but American. This is what's happening to us, is we are looking at a whole new set of immigrants here who really, I question whether they do want to be American.
I love talking to you for this reason, but just let me tell you that there have been countless studies done that say these people will assimilate the same way your grandparents did, and we do have this romantic notion of the way all our grandparents did and how different they are from the way now. But let me go to the question that I know you want to talk about. These guys really do have a different face for each audience they talk to, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, and that piece I prepared kind of showed it, didn't it?
It did, and it's so discouraging in a way. You know, I said earlier that these guys were just pandering when they went and did this, when they decided to do it. But this shows how bad they were pandering, because not only do you do it, you go and say, well, I'm going to actually participate in a debate in a language other than English, which I think is, of course, as I've said, a big, big mistake.
Right.
But when you do it, you also try to nuance all of your answers so as to fit that audience, as opposed to the audience we had in Iowa or New Hampshire or someplace else. Give me a break. Where is somebody with some guts here? Why don't we have somebody who will actually say, well, we do. Here I am.
You see, at the end of our conversations, you and I always end up agreeing on something. You know, we may disagree all throughout, and then we agree. Hey, Congressman, always good to see you, my friend.
It's a pleasure.
Take care. Tom Tancredo.
Bye-bye.
All right, up next.